Hello everybody. So just a disclaimer in start, I am starting my YouTube channel in which I will teach about electronics. So I will start from scratch and there would be multiple lecture starting from semiconductor to the complexity of electronics. And my lecture is suitable for anyone who have completed high school or intermediate or people who are or student who those are doing bachelor's in electronic or studying physics or electronic engineering or people who are passionate about learn electronic. Anyone can learn from these lectures as I'm going from very basics. I am just assuming that you have at least completed your intermediate, so you must have basic knowledge about what is current, what is voltage, and what is power. So let's start with the question: what is electronics? So most of the people have a misconcept or have a thought: what is the basic difference between electrical engineering and electronic engineering, or how to differentiate between the device which is electrical and which is electronics. So most of the people think that electronic usually deal with high frequency, however electrical deal with low frequency, because at home we are having 50 hertz of electricity or 60 hertz of electricity in some countries. However electronic deals with high frequency signals and all that. So what people estimate that electronic engineering or electronic devices are those which deal with low voltages and high frequency, and electrical deal with high voltages and low frequency, which is not a case, or I will not say this is merely true, because in electronics we have a field or we have a branch in which we study or we work with high voltages. For example, industrial electronics or power electronics, in which we use SCRs, thyristor, which we will teach in future. They are usually capable enough to deal with 11,000 volts. So saying that electronic deals with low voltage will not be a correct definition. So what is the basic difference? The basic difference between electrical and electronic is that electronic use semiconductors as in the device or in the circuit. However, electrical devices or electrical engineering deals with conductors. So if there is a circuit or a design or a machine which consists of only conductors and mechanical parts, so that device or that machine is an electrical device. However, if there is some device who consists of semiconductors like diode, BJTs, integrated circuits, etc., so these all come under electronics. So in future we will study about each and everything: diode, BJTs, amplifier. But for now, the basic difference I want to tell you is this: semiconductor electronic evolved due to semiconductor. So what is semiconductor? The first question arises here, because as I said, electronic is the field in which contains semiconductor. So the first thing to learn here is what is semiconductor. So if we talk about semiconductors, so basically if we look in the periodic table, the element which are in group 4 are usually known as semiconductor. And why? So as you all know that in the periodic table the most stable elements are those which are in group 8. Those are also known as noble gases or noble elements. After that, the most stable elements are of group 4, because they have 4 electrons in their outermost shell, which we will see in today's lecture too. So because they have 4 electron in their outermost shell, so they make a good covalent bond between themselves, as you can see in this picture. Consider it an element of group 4 which have 4 electron in their outermost shell. It can be a silicon or germanium. If you note here that these dotted lines are showing covalent bond and this dot is showing electron. So if you see that all atom have 4 electrons, sorry, and they are making covalent bond with their adjacent atom. Hence, if you count the electron, every atom has 8 electron in the outermost shell. This make them stable as their outer shelf is complete, and hence they are stable. And this is the picture of a silicon or a germanium crystal. So As their outermost shell is complete, they work as an insulator because there is no free electron or free charge which can conduct electricity, because we all know that electricity is the rate of change of electron. So how it conducts? As soon as semiconductor or silicon or germanium, to be precise, get some thermal energy. For example, at 0 Kelvin, that their bond is complete and they do not do any sort of conduction. But as soon as temperature start increasing, these electrons get energy and they pop out of their covalent bond. So the electron gain the required energy due to thermal generation, and the electron came out of their covalent bond. Hence, hole. It create hole in the covalent bond. What is hole? Hole is a positive charge. Okay, so because when electron leave the atom, it will left a positive charge on the atom, so that electron pop out and it will rotate or it will move freely in the crystal. So as soon as you apply a electrical field, the current start floating. So this is how semiconductor has a dual nature, or silicon or germanium have a dual nature, because at low temperature their bond is so strong, or the electron have not much energy to leave the atom, and it works as an insulator. But as soon as it gains energy, it gain power, or electron gain power to pop up from their covalent bond, and it can be used to conduct the electricity. So this is the basic idea, or this is the basic about how semiconductor do the conduction. So from this we came to know one point, that is, as soon as, or the as much as you increase the temperature, the conduction of the semiconductor will increase. So unlike metals, semiconductor conduction increase with temperature. However, in case of metals or conductor, with temperature their conduction reduce. So how their conduction reduce is then another topic which we can discuss if people required. You can tell me in the comment section if you want to go at that side too. However, as we are talking about semiconductor, so I will like to stick to the topic right now. So what we do is, because semiconductor is much related to the temperature, and there are areas in the world where temperature goes to below zero, usually in winter season. So there are a lot of countries in the world where temperature is below zero in winters, or nearly zero. So at that time the conduction will reduce, or the if you can see, or if you learn from the previous slide, that semiconductor is much dependent upon temperature. So just to make it little non-dependent of temperature, or just to increase the conductivity, what we do the doping. So what is doping? What we do is that in a semiconductor crystal, which can be a silicon or germanium, we include, or we insert a pentavalent or trivalent element or impurity. So what happened, for example, if you see that here we have added a pentavalent impurity. So when you dope a pentavalent impurity, so it has 5 electron in their outermost shell, out of which 4 creates bond, and the one which you can see with the arrow is free. So now if the temperature go even below 0 degree, this electron will remains free, and this electron will remain there to conduct the electricity or conduct the current. Also, this impurity increase the capability of crystal to conduct the current, because current is proportional to the number of electrons. So the as much as free electron we have, the greater free electron we have, the greater current we can withdraw from the crystal. Similarly, there is the doping which is trivalent, in which we add a atom which has 3 electrons in their outermost shell, for example boron. And in case of pentavalent, we usually do the doping of phosphorus. So by doing the doping of boron, what happen here is it has 3 electrons, so it create a hole. If you can see, there is a hole. So as you can see, there is a hole, so this create a positive charge. So by pentavalent doping, we create negative charge or increase number of electrons. By doing trivalent doping or adding trivalent impurity, we create positive charges. So these trivalent, what they do, they create the instability in the atom or the instability in the crystal. As there is a hole, this electron may jump to this hole, then this electron may jump to this hole, so there is a constantly jumping phenomena goes on to fill the hole. So this again create the mobilization of charges. So in trivalent, we call them acceptor. The trivalent doping is called acceptor, and the pentavalent doping is called donor, because pentavalent donate or donate an electron, or however the trivalent impurity accept the electron. So this is the basic doping or of the electron semiconductors. So these are the two types of semiconductors. So if you remember, or if you have heard the extrinsic or intrinsic semiconductor, so the pure semiconductor are intrinsic. So if you look at this is an intrinsic semiconductor because they are pure. So and they are much dependent upon temperature. However, if you dope an electron, it becomes an extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductor. So extrinsic semiconductor has two types, as we talked about. They have pentavalent doping or trivalent doping. Okay guys, so moving toward last slides of today's lecture. Till now we have learned about extrinsic and intrinsic semiconductor. We learned why group 4 element work as semiconductor. So the question arises here is, which group 4 element is better as a conductor, or which to be used as a semiconductor? So the answer here is very simple, that germanium is better. And how it is better? So we all have learned the concept of electron affinity and electron negativity in our high school. So we know that the electron affinity and negativity can be impacted with number of shelf. So if we look at the 2D structure of germanium and silicon in the picture, we can see that germanium have 1, 2, 3 and 4 shelf. However, silicon only have 3 shelf. So the outermost electron of germanium is comparatively much farther to the nucleus than silicon, because it has only 3 shells. So what happens here is, as there are huge number of electron and there are greater number of shells, the bonding between the nucleus and the outermost shell is comparatively weaker than silicon nucleus and its outermost shell. Hence, it's easy to pop out the germanium outermost electron as compared to the silicon outermost electron. So if we talk about conductance, germanium provide better conductivity because the germanium electron came out of their outermost shell at lower temperature as compared to the silicon. So the next question arise here is why we use silicon. If germanium is better, why to use silicon? So the answer is very simple. So silicon is the most abundant element available on the earth crust after oxygen, and germanium is not that much easily available. So if we start manufacturing semiconductor devices with germanium, so the prices of semiconductors or the prices of electronic will shoot up. So looking at the demand in the market and the people need, as we all are using cell phone, everything is going smart, everything is going automate, so the use of semiconductor and electronic devices at its peak. So to control the cost, it is needed that we use that element which is easily available, and this is the one of the major reason why we use silicon. So that's all for today's session. I hope you guys understand what are semiconductor and why we prefer silicon over germanium. So if you guys have any question, please feel free to write in the comment section. Or if you have any suggestion how can I improve this session, please give your valuable suggestion below so I can improve this lecture. So for now, that's all. Thank you everybody for your time.